Okay, now we are in the worksheet percentage change and on the workbook formulas and function. So before us is a calculation for percentage change in this particular row 5. So we're expected to calculate the percentage change. Now I know some of us must have done this before, but maybe somehow you've forgotten how it's calculated, but it's pretty simple. Now to get started, looking at the first month, we might not be able to do any percentage change on the profit. Why? Because for the first month there is no previous month to compare with. So obviously we might not be able to do that. So we're going to be starting with the second month. And how is percentage change calculated? It's basically done by saying that the present month minus the previous month, then divided by the previous month. That's basically how percentage change is calculated. So we're going to be saying equal to, so it's expected that by the time we say equal to the present month, right, minus the previous month, then expect to put your divide sign, which is a backslash, right, the previous month. So now looking at what we have before us, if you were to just do the calculation from your head, we'll say 30 minus 20, which will give us what? 10. Then 10 divided by 20, you expect to have 0.5, which in turn would be 50%, right? So we're expecting to have 0.5 or 50% here. Am I correct? Okay, good. So let's see. By the time we press enter, let's see what we are going to get. So I'm going to press enter on my keyboard. Oh, wow. So now I'm having 29. So what exactly is happening here? Why am I having 29? So let's see. So obviously what is happening is this. There seems to be a calculation here first before this is done. So simply having something like B4 divided by B4, which is 20 divided by 20, which gives us what? 1. Then we now say 30 minus 1, which is why we have 29. So, but this is not what we want to do, and that is why we have this series of arithmetic operators here, written in this particular order. So, just like if you remember back then in primary school, secondary school, you must have been taught BODMAS, where you have brackets, off, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction in that order for you to simplify certain kind of equations. So that's the same thing we are having here in Excel, but however, this is the order for Excel. So we have the brackets, then this is for exponential, then we have the multiplication and division, then addition and subtraction. So that means that we need to apply the rule of BODMAS or knowing mathematics here now, following this order. So I basically just open up the formula, because what we want to do is first to calculate these two, then before we do the division. So that will basically mean what? We're going to wrap this entire formula in a bracket. Okay, so just open up my bracket using my shift 9, then I'll close up the bracket here, put my cursor there and do shift 0 to close up the bracket. So basically with this bracket we've added to this, we basically are saying that do this calculation first, then whatever result you get, divide it by this. So this obviously should give us the right result now. So I'm basically going to press enter on my keyboard, and here I have 0.5. So you can see now that's 0.5 for us. So if you have to change this to percentage, which is what many of us would expect to have, we'll basically just go to the home tab, then you come here under the number group, you can see the percent sign. So by the time you click on percentage, you observe it has changed to 50%. So this is how we do it. So now we learned copying formula earlier. So we're basically just going to copy the formula. So if you are copying the formula down, you observe what's going to happen. Excel will copy the formula using relative references, comparing the relationship of your first formula into the others. So since in your first formula you said this minus this divided by this, so for you to get this next one, it's going to move a step forward and say this minus this divided by this, right? And it goes down and down like that. So let's copy and see what we have. I'll just use my autofill handle, bring my cursor there, click it down, then I drag. All right, drag up to June. You can see now I have the calculation done for me now. You can see, now, so we have this done. So this is basically how we do a percentage change. And I know this formula, not everybody will have to be doing this kind of calculation, but it's just a common calculation that we all should know, and we ought to learn and remember, because somehow we've done it before in our various classes back then. So but I believe you understand what we just did now. So we basically added parentheses to show the importance of following this order, this operator order, for us to be able to get accurate results. Because sometimes you might not get your accurate result and you're wondering what's happening. Basically, just check your formula and ensure you are following the right order, for your calculation to be done. And sometimes people just add parentheses here and say, okay, maybe you have to still put brackets in between these guys before, and this is really unnecessary anyway, but it causes no harm still if you add parentheses around before, but still there's no need for that. But now there are cases where you add parentheses and you probably open up the parentheses. What is expected here is now to close it, but for whatever reason, maybe you forgot or something. By the time you press enter, Excel will give you an option to help you correct it. So I'll basically just press enter now. So you can see now I have that Excel is giving me an alert that we found the typo in your formula. So and you can see the correction now. They actually made the correction for us. Now says, do you want to accept this correction? Yeah, most of the time, at least over 90% of the time, Excel is usually correct with these suggestions they give us whenever we have a typo in formula. So most times you just go ahead to say yes. And the moment you do yes, it's still going to have the same results. You can see now your formula, the bracket has been added to your B4 properly. You can see that. So that's basically how we calculate percentage change.